This moment when you turn is really important because if you are too stressful with your chest, you can break your lungs easily.
How long can you hold your breath?
I can hold my breath 7 minutes in static without moving, but trust me, it's not so fun.
Is your body just screaming at you like, get up there?
That's a good question because on the way down, I don't feel the urge to breathe. I just feel relaxed, and the pressure makes something in your body, in your mind, and you don't want to breathe. And it's really enjoyable.
The natural kind of water pressure around you as you're going down, that makes it a little bit easier on your body. Like you don't feel that big need to breathe as much.
The pressure is so huge, and if your lungs are squeezed, my lungs are squeezed like a lemon at this depth. But after that, my heartbeats slow down at 15 beats per minute.
15?
15, 1 5, yeah. But more I go down, more the pressure increase, and less I float. And at around 400 feet, the pressure is so huge, and I don't need to swim. I just free fall down there. But when I arrive there on the bottom plate, I need to come up. And to come up is really hard because if I don't swim, I fall down. And the first 20 meters on the bottom to join the surface is like a nightmare because I have the line in front of me, and you have each meters with a mark, and the meters go really slow, but my legs go so fast.
You have to work so much harder to kind of turn back around.
This moment when you turn is really important because if you are too stressful with your chest, you can break your lungs easily and to have blood inside. And this is why you need to be really flexible when you do the loop down there, and to slow down on the way up, trying to be fast but to not be stressful.
Like, how do you essentially know when to turn back?
It's a good question. On the beginning, I was really afraid about it, and I didn't understand when was the point, when was the limit. And after that, it's like going to the Everest, to the Mount Everest. You're not going on a one way. You have to adapt your body. And for freediving, is the same. I try to increase like one by 1 meter by 1 meters, and for example, if you crash the surface after a deep dive and you are really okay, you can go deeper. But if you crash the surface and you feel your legs burning, or you feel really tired, you really urge to breathe on the recovering part, I think you need to probably repeat this dive or to go less deeper.
When you did that 122 meters, looking back on it, could you have gone 123? Could you have gone 124 when you finished it? And you'd be like, oh, I had more in the tank.
This is what I'm following. I like following this vision about this kind of frustration after an attempt of the world record. I want to crash the surface and to say to myself, oh, probably I have more. I have more because this of this, like really concrete part, not just on my dream or with the color of the star. It's really concrete point. But my last 8 world record, I always crash the surface with this smile, saying to myself, "Ah, yeah, you have more," and nothing is better than that.
That's cool. That's a good way to look at it, right? Like, oh, I could have done that. But then how hard do you have to kind of reel it back in? Like, if you know you could do more, like if you know you did 122, like why not go 130? Like to me, like from an outsider's perspective, it's like, all right, it doesn't seem like it's that much farther. When you get down to that depth, like how much farther is 123 than 122?
From 122 to 123 is just 1 meters. It's not so huge, but mentally it's a huge aspect of the performance because you're trying to go somewhere of nobody go in the past. And you don't know if your body is adapt to this pressure, adapt to this time spending in the water. It's really like going to the space, feeling like an astronaut. And 1 meters is not so huge, but after 3 meters is huge because you do 3 meters and 3 meters on the way up. at the end of the day, it's 6 meters.
Yeah, it's doubled. You gotta forget about that. Like, oh yeah, the coming back up is kind of the important part, right? How far down can you go? Well, you can go all the way down if you want.
Ah, yeah, yeah. You can go one way, but no, you don't have the ticket of the way up.
Have you ever had an instance in which like you didn't make it back? I'm assuming there's like rescue teams there that can grab you and things like that. But have you ever had an instance where like I went all the way down and I didn't make it back up to the top?
Yeah, my biggest fear was on the beginning of my career, and it was my first world championship. And I remember I was diving and I was free falling, and when I reached the bottom, I was so happy because it was a personal best to me. And when I tried to come up, I have a lanyard clipped to the line to never lose the line. And I tried to come up, and the line was stuck on the bottom with my lanyard. And I remember going down again, and I trying to swim again, but at this depth, like I say before, you can stretch a lot this part because you can break your lungs. And I say, okay, what I need to do? I'm stuck here. The platform is really far from here. And at this time, I remove the lanyard and I try to follow the line all the way up because you don't have any reference about the surface and about the bottom. If you look down, you think it's the bottom, but sometimes it can be the surface. All around you is blue or dark. And if you lose the line, you lose yourself. And I trying to come up at this time and to never forget the line in front of me. And at this point, I remember saying to myself, it's so sad, like staying in the water like that is so sad. Like I was just accepting the situation, but trying to push and trying to join the surface. But I was like kind of accepting gonna be really bad to me.
Did you think you were dead?
I was thinking, yeah. At the end, I saw the safety around me at 30 meters, freediver safety, and I was feeling okay. And I crushed the surface. I did my protocol, and everybody was happy because it was a personal best to me, but they didn't know what was happened in the bottom. And to me, it was more like a big step. I took it like a popular, not like an handicap. At the end, I spent 1 week without diving, 1 week crying all the night because when you see the death close to you like that, at this age, I was really young on the beginning of my career. I just like realized how my sport was extreme.